I'm going to teach you how to make a delicious eggplant parm that isn't fried and is not breaded and is super healthy, and it's quick and it's absolutely delicious, and you're not going to miss the breading and the fried eggplant because it's so flavorful. I can't wait to share it with you. The first thing you're going to want to do is preheat your oven to 425 degrees. So this is a quick and easy recipe. I'm using mainly things I had in my pantry. The only thing I bought fresh at the supermarket were a couple of medium-sized eggplants and a ball of fresh mozzarella. Then what you want to do is take the peel off the front and back of the eggplant and then just cut off the top and the bottom to make a flat base. So you're going to slice from top to bottom, cutting as thin as you can and just leaving a slight edge of peel. And then of course, don't forget to prepare 2 large trays and spray them with non-stick spray. And then you're going to lay out all of that thinly sliced eggplant, and then we're going to salt the eggplant, both trays, of course. And then once you've salted one side, you're going to flip the eggplant slices over, and then you're also going to salt the other side. What we're going to do is we're going to make this eggplant sweat. So we're going to let it sit for about 10 or 15 minutes, and you're going to notice it starts to glisten. That's when it starts to release some of that liquid, and this way you don't get a rubbery eggplant or a spongy eggplant. Then just grab a sheet or 2 of paper towel or a couple of napkins, and you're going to blot the eggplant. What you're doing is you're removing that excess liquid and even a bit of that excess salt. We're just going to blot it really well, and then once we've done both trays, we're going to turn the eggplant over and we're going to blot the other side. So what we're doing is removing as much liquid as possible. Now, once we've done it, you see how much liquid we've removed? This way, it's going to be absolutely delicious when we bake it. So now it's time to season our eggplant. And what we're going to do is we're going to sprinkle on some onion powder. There's no measuring for this recipe. We're just going to sprinkle with our heart. So just go ahead and sprinkle on some onion powder. Then you're going to do the same with some garlic powder. I actually only do this on one side of the eggplant, but you could flip them over and do both sides, however you prefer. And then you just want to make sure that you're seasoning both trays. And then lastly, we're going to sprinkle it with some ground black pepper. Just want to flavor the layers of our delicious baked eggplant parm. And then we're done. And then what we're going to do is we're going to grab our extra virgin olive oil, and we're just going to give the eggplant a drizzle. I don't want to soak my eggplant in oil because, of course, this is healthy. We're using olive oil. We're not deep frying. Just a nice, healthy drizzle of olive oil over the top of the eggplant. And then we're going to grab them and put them into the oven. Now, what I like to do is I like to set a 10-minute timer. And then after 10 minutes, I change the position, top to bottom, bottom to top, and add another 10 minutes. And while that's roasting, I slice my mozzarella ball. And then I bring out my beautiful, look at that color, a beautiful roasted eggplant. And then this is going to be layered to make our baked eggplant parm. So now I'm lowering my oven to 350 degrees because I'm going to bake at a lower temperature. I'm not roasting this time. And then what I do is I grab a square baking dish, and then I'm just going to add my favorite tomato sauce to the bottom of the pan. You can use any brand you like. I like this one because it has no sugar in it and it's very flavorful. And then just spread that out at the bottom of the pan. And then we're going to layer as if we were making a lasagna. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with a layer of that beautiful roasted eggplant. I'm going to take this one. That's my favorite when they get a little crispy like that. That's because I cut that one real thin. So go thin if possible. And then just create your base layer of eggplants. What you want to do is to cover the entire bottom of the pan. And then once you do that, what we're going to do is start layering on top. So what do I mean by that? I'm going to add some pieces of mozzarella cheese. This is fresh buffalo mozzarella, delicious, mozzarella di bufala. Excuse me if I'm not pronouncing that correctly. And then what I do is I put about 4 pieces because I cut this in 4. So I like each piece to have plenty of cheese. And then what I do is I also give it just a little sprinkle of grated Parmesan. Remember, this is not fancy. This is pantry stuff, super easy. Then I grab a little bit of that tomato sauce and then I spoon some on top of that. And then, of course, you guessed it, we're gonna repeat the process over and over until we use up all of our ingredients. So I'm making another layer of eggplant. And then I go in with sauce, more mozzarella, and a light sprinkle of Parmesan. Then I repeat it until I am done. But what I do is at that top layer, I make sure I put my eggplant down, I add my sauce, my cheese, and my sprinkle of parm. As you can see, once again, I decided to go with 4 pieces because I am gonna cut this in 4 squares, but I want this to be my top layer. I wanna finish with my cheeses on top, and then I just grab a little bit of dried oregano and basil right from my pantry, and you sprinkle it right on top, as much or as little as you like. And you can even add a little extra garlic powder at this point if you love garlic the way I do. So that's what I like to do. Then you want to cover your baking dish with aluminum foil, pop it in the oven, and set a 25-minute timer. Then after 25 minutes, you're going to uncover it. It's already smelling incredible. And then what I like to do is I like to pop it in for about another 5 minutes. I set another 5-minute timer to finish the baking process. And then I pull it out, and it is so crazy aromatic. You can smell the basil, the oregano, that tomato sauce. It's just mouth-watering. And I'm telling you, this is a healthy eggplant parm, 0 guilt, but so much flavor. I'm gonna cut it in 4 because I like to have this for a lunch or a light dinner with a little side salad. Of course, I won't judge you if you decide to cut it in 2 and have a bigger serving, but it's super, super yummy. So all I do is I cut myself a piece and look at those yummy layers of roasted eggplant and just some cheese. It's not overwhelmed with cheese, and it's not fried, and it's not breaded, and I'm having it with a little side salad. So tasty, it's perfect.